Good morning, students. Last in science we saw about plants living on the plains and then in the marshy areas. Now let's see plants in forest. How are they adapted? What are the special features in them? Okay. Now forests usually have warm climates and get a lot of rain throughout the year. Forests have many trees, so they have a lot of rain throughout the year, and the weather is all what you can say, it is warm there. Okay, because there are too many trees, so weather is warm. Now, in such conditions, the plants have to have many branches. Why? Because they want to spread and take more sunlight. So, for taking sunlight, since there are too many trees, they grow taller also, so that they get the sunlight. Okay. So, for this, the plants that grow in forest grow tall with broad and abundant leaves. Okay, for photosynthesis, leaves are the ones which do it. So these trees, they grow tall and also they have many leaves, and their leaves are also very broad. Okay, that leaf blade will be broad, so that they get more sunlight. Okay, so since there are many trees, there is competition for sunlight. So such plants are redwood, mahogany, maple and oak. Okay, these are the examples given here. Then we move on to plants in the coastal areas. Coastal areas are the areas which are near the sea. Okay, so sea, ocean के पास वाले areas are coastal areas where the moisture is more in the air. Okay, now mostly you will see coconut trees in the coastal areas. Why? Because the coastal areas have a lot of moisture, okay, and which is required for the trees here. So the plants that grow in the coastal areas, they also grow tall and straight. Okay, they are tall and straight. For example, the coconut tree. They are adapted to survive in conditions of salty water. As I told you, they are near the sea. So, the water is salty. So, these plants, these roots, okay, they are adapted to take in salty water. So, this salty water, and also since they are very near the oceans, they have a heavy rainfall. Okay, the coastal areas have heavy rainfall. So these plants are very strong. They grow tall, straight, and they are very good in taking up the salty water. Also, they are good with the heavy rainfalls that fall in the coastal areas. So, example given is coconut tree. Okay, so we are done with the plants in different habitats, in the different environments. Now let's see some other plants. Okay, now in other plants we are talking about insectivorous plants. First, insectivorous plants are the plants which eat insects. Okay, so they are not taking water and nutrients from the soil and making food, but what they do is they eat insects themselves for their nutrition. Okay, so now let's see, there are two pictures given here, though on page number 169, the Venus flytrap and the pitcher plant. So they will catch small insects. Okay, in pitcher plant you will see a bag type of thing. Okay, so whenever an insect goes and sits on it, what will happen? It will swallow it. It will close the bag and then digest that insect. Okay, in Venus flytrap there are two things like this. See, it is like this, isn't it? Now what happens? A fly goes and sits inside. What it does? Bun. Okay, trap kiya. So it is a pinjra. Trap meaning pinjra. So it traps the insect inside and slowly it will digest inside. Okay, in this way there are plants which are eating insects. Okay, then the next is non-green plants. Non-green plants, I told you that some plants don't have green color leaves, isn't it? So how do they prepare their food? Because I told you chlorophyll is very important for photosynthesis. So the plants which are not green in color will not produce food by photosynthesis. Okay, so the plants which are having different colored leaves or no green colored leaves are called as non-green plants. So plants that do not contain the green pigment chlorophyll are called non-green plants. Okay, they do not carry out photosynthesis. है ना? Now they are adapted to absorb their food from the dead plants and animals. खाना तो सबको चाहिए. So from where do they get their food? What they do is they are not insectivorous, है ना? Insectivorous भी नहीं है. So what they do, whatever dead animals and plants are in the vicinity, they will take the nutrition directly from there. Okay, so the roots will take the nutrition from the dead animals and plants. Okay, in this way the non-green plants grow and survive. Next we see parasitic plants. Parasitic plants are the plants which will grow on other plants or trees. Okay, what they do is parasite का मतलब होता है the animals or the plants that live on the body of another animals and plants and take or suck the nutrition from the other. Okay, so in this way plants there are already there, उनके ऊपर ही the other plants start growing और plants वो प्लांट जो खाना बनाएगा वो प्लांट के पास जो पानी न्यूट्रिएंट है they will directly suck it up, take it up. Okay, so what is happening, दूसरों के घर पे रह के मजे करने. Okay, this is what happening in parasitic plant. Such plants which grow on other plants and take up their food from them is called parasitic plant. So there are certain plants that depend on other plants partially or completely, okay, for their nutrition. They grow on the other plants and absorb the nutrients from them. Such plants are called parasitic plants. They often harm the plant on which they grow. Obviously, if the plant is growing on another plant and taking up its nutrition, the plant, the host plant that is called, the plant which is the main thing, they will suffer क्योंकि वो खाना बना रहे हैं, but their food is taken by these parasitic plants. Okay, they often harm the plant. So examples are cuscuta and mistletoe. Mistletoe and cuscuta are the plants that grow on other trees, other plants, and they take up their nutrition. Okay, so in this way we finish the explanation of chapter number 2 as well. Okay, I want you to read the chapter thoroughly and I have sent you the PDF earlier. So with the help of that, complete your notes. Also the textbook exercise. Read the chapter and see if you can do the exercises yourself. So exercises in the textbook and whatever notebook work I have sent you, that you have to finish in the notebook itself. Okay, that's all.